Ready? Okay.
And it wasn't.
Good morning, welcome everyone to Williamson County Board of Commissioners meeting. It's Thursday, October 5th, 11:05. Roll call, please.
Tim Atkinson.
Present.
Jim Marlowe. Jim Reese.
Once again, we're reconvening yesterday's meeting, October 4th. And this is budget on the agenda today. We do have travel reimbursement. Would you guys like to do that now? That's what I have. So, budget.
Sure.
Okay. So
You.
travel reimbursement for me for going up to the Hope Trust annual meeting, September 26, 27, 28, it's 512 miles. The reimbursement amount is $335, 34.
36,
36.
30 pounds.
36.
Okay. I need to go on this. 36.
Make a motion that we approve the travel reimbursement form.
Then second, and roll call, please.
Tim Atkinson.
Abstain.
Jim Marlowe.
Yeah.
Jim Reese.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's grab the budget.
I think the judges was the next department.
Is that where you guys would like to start at today, or is there someplace else you'd like to start at?
Yeah.
Okay, I do have a couple of updates. Yesterday I talked to Brian Ziegler about the red coat. He's getting the amortization schedule for that road. There's a re-entry, this was, if they get approval, they're going to buy a piece of property. I think that may be enough to clear our loan payment at some point, either 3 or 4 years when that happens. We'd be coming to the end. He said that there was no agreement with the Chamber of Commerce. So the Chamber of Commerce, so they cut your payments in half. I think the city was paying maybe $12,000. I think you guys are now paying $6,000, but it had nothing to do with that.
Okay.
Other than I think that they had that a huge amount
Yeah.
of that debt paid off by that new facility.
Okay.
You know, that thing. It's something else in the learning. I should have written it down. It comes to me, I'll give it to you guys if you think about it. Oh, simple, that's what it was. There was a question about what we used to pay to Simple. Simple for the last couple of years, they could have been doing this for that fund, but that money goes into an accessory loan. Paid $18,000 bill before that. That money was re-entry fund for matching funds that we used for grants, and that was under the Simple urban development. And they lost that status because the last census, we didn't believe in the urban area, we'll have that status back. Next census. The population. That may show up at some point in the future, but right now they're getting about $60,000. The city in that account, they don't need it. So that's one of the things. Okay. All right, that being said, we're going to start off with the judges. All right, judge. And I will say about the judges, I had a meeting with Steve Green a few weeks ago, and he wanted to add another bailiff. I think at one time they had an extra bailiff. They went away at some point, we'd like to have that back. And he's also willing to give us $100,000 out of his fund. Yeah. I think, Kim, I gave you that information already. I think, didn't
And I think his request included that fifth position.
I? Yeah, down there at bottom.
Okay. And so then that is in there and then the 100,000.
Yeah, and I believe that Steve has a person who went for that main position. So this one here, I would like to leave in the budget, unlike the other positions that are not going to that new account. I think he actually has that person.
Where's that 100,000?
Court assessment.
Court assessment fund.
Do you got, I mean, I have, you know, all the updated analysis.
Oh, and all those assessment, all those,
Yeah, I mean, well, we haven't reconciled the accounts, but I'm fairly sure it's certain. All this stuff.
yeah,
That's what I would answer. So,
Been watching these come in all years, is we all have on the medical and psychiatric. Went over early. An estimated amount of was way over, but then the request is less than that.
thank you. Actually,
Do we have any reason to think it will be less next year, or is this just a symptom of more activity from law enforcement?
I don't see it being advantage in, that's always been the way under. What's your suggestion?
Well, if they've gone 18 this year, I would be more comfortably closer to that number.
Maybe put an extra 5 into it,
Or at least match it, you say.
at least match it.
Yeah, I don't necessarily want to go over, but
Okay,
it seems to make logical sense.
so we need to match that up. Perfect. Kim, did you do that?
18?
Yeah.
Increase in stipends, is that because of the new person?
I think we just increase the stipends. On those things, Jim, he was providing a $100,000 to take care of those things. You know, in the court appointed attorneys, Jim, you probably said $7,000 under what they actually did.
Yes.
Is that one we'd like to maybe also bump up to 84.5?
I would be good with that.
You call it transfers. Well, that's good. It is salary, is over the same.
That's what I have.
So, you guys see any other changes you'd like to make this week?
Same thing.
Jim, are you good? Okay.
That's $100,000 a year.
Yeah. Probation is next on that. Do you have any next probation? Their ad is the same as it was last year. Like you said, we had to review this. You guys have any questions or concerns about probation?
So in the general fund then, do you want me to decrease the amount on the employee health insurance transfer by the amount, the other line out, just to move?
Yeah, you're talking about probation now? Yeah, you know what we talked about yesterday?
So there's no really net impact on the general fund?
I think it was a zero impact. Yeah. I think it's just the way that they're using it money internally. Okay, Jim? Okay, moving on to public defender. Sam, the public defender? Okay, so we have a couple of new hires. Yeah, in the public defender's office. And once again, they're going up. Looks like to me, it's
They've got
$6,000.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think they had been 3,000, weren't they?
Right, they were hearing the state's attorney, the assistant state's attorney.
What's your thoughts on this $6,000 increase?
I mean, my notes, something else, keeps me wondering, sorry.
So on the salary detail, it should be there. Okay, we have a public defender at 69, it's going to 75. Another one that's at 60, she's requesting 66, and another one at 53, it's going to 59. And they have she has a new hire, 53 and 56. And then there's a new hire, I'm assuming that would be for a legal secretary
Mhm.
at the bottom of that.
The secretarial raises are $2, except for the one position, which the increase was $7.30 an hour.
Had another 50% increase.
On the London,
That's top legal secretary line.
I had that first position there going up $7.30 an hour, and then the others going up $2 an hour. And then also then the new hire.
Why such a big difference on that first one?
I got it coming up $7 an hour, is that what you had?
For the one, yeah, $7.30, yeah.
What are the other ones going
$2.
$2?
There is a name missing from the list, and so this might be part of it. I don't see Luann Pope on there.
Who?
Luann Pope. And so
If she is missing.
if she's retiring, then it may be like looking to distribute her pay. I can tell you what she was in the budget for last year. if that will help.
Yeah, what was that?
Okay. She was budgeted at $46,627.
50.7.
So that first, that she must be taking that position. Okay.
The overall increase, back to the legal secretary salary line, that overall increase is going to be 3%. I think you made a fair assumption.
We still in public defender. Luann is leaving. And I think that Terry said she was gonna try to elevate, Mary Kay to Luann's position as the legal secretary. What's her hope?
When she leaving?
I think Luann's retiring either the end of this fiscal year or end of year, one of
At
the
the
two.
end of the year.
Yeah, like either 11/30 or 12/31, one of the two. Is my understanding. I think she's been talking with Marla and maybe with Julie to give her the exact time that she's leaving, so I think that's Julie in class.
You don't have time
I mean, she hasn't,
yet.
okay.
No.
Yeah, you've probably been involved too. So.
But when I didn't see it, yes.
Okay. But she's acted like, I think, when she's come to pick up pay stubs and everything, end of the year, she's gone. So,
So what's your thoughts on that, guys? You need to, we need to look at them a little closer, what reasons?
Right here.
That's higher than the 3,000.
They're at a meeting right
We can always follow in, just something, clarify next year.
Hopefully for community. Ice.
Overall, 3% increase.
It's not, it's levy that's set.
Right.
Ice.
No, I understand.
And I've got Rhett coming in, he's gonna be here on Tuesday. And after the meeting on Tuesday, we'll go some negotiations on this. And maybe we come to table this and we'll have to talk with him. So do we want to take out those increases, or do we leave it in and have to talk with him come back?
I'd say let's just leave them right now, let her come in and we'll talk with her and just see what's going on. Just see.
Leave it in, leave it in.
I think for consistency, we need to put in a new line,
Yeah,
just for consistency.
I think so too. And they're not going away, there's no here. It's just, let's get what we see as normal budget. So let's go to 70 cents
And the 3 for,
and the 3,000.
and everything else.
And the rest of it, chunk in. Yeah, I was waiting for Kim.
Oh, yeah.
There was quite a bit there that she had to do. I've got ROE on next.
ROE actually went down
That's what I was thinking.
from the prior year, so it looked like they had some retirements too that just basically decreased everybody's respective share of the joint cost of the office.
Isn't that based on population? Yeah, that was it?
It's based on the EAV.
Okay,
Was it EAV?
dropped it about 16,457. Because that one too is also paid for by the respective fringe benefit funds if there's a cost in there. So it's the general operations line that affects the general fund.
So what we're seeing is 194, 439.
That will be the combined of all the checks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's down from the 203,560. Yeah.
You guys have any questions about ROE? You got a ROE, Jim? Yeah. Moving on to the sheriff. This is the last year. This is what we amended back in January. You guys rather come back to this one? To a second, talk to James. I don't know if we're gonna get an update or not. The request was sent, I'm gonna get back. The sheriff's is the big one.
The change is that in addition to what you got there, one, the pay for the state's attorney went up, and so then the respective change in PD and sheriff were made in the tentative draft year. And also added the $6,500 stipend line item that's now going to flow from the state.
So one of those amendments, yeah. Now that he's had a year in, maybe he's comfortable with this. I'll reach out to him.
Okay.
All right, will you, Jim, you table this for right now?
Any other changes on that would be maybe.
The deputies, you know,
It's a contract or negotiations.
do we know how he's doing here today on this?
I can tell you, I sent that over what I got from Michelle. Let's say late last week.
I think he was like 1.8. Budget looks like he's like
1.8.
close to it.
$1,791,000. This is
That's
930.
930. So I suspect,
10.4 was 2.
that's why I suspect his budget may be, if we turn it over, maybe good.
It's the same, isn't it? 1,991, it's a 10-4.
State attorneys.
Not quite sure on his salaries, what he's wanting to do here. Get kind of all the work, some of this stuff, so I didn't know his salary, and stuff that we received on that, this, give this guy attention. Just on the salary.
Because on salary detail, it's all $3,000 raises.
And the Catherine Novick-Cosi is using as the contract, ARPA attorney. We gave him $90,000. We gave Marcy. No, we gave Brandon $90,000. And then, Marcy used that, Brandon used that money to hire Ted. So, some of that money's gone.
Yeah, I don't know that there's anything.
Ted used it 4 months and before he became state's attorney. So I don't know what's left in that line item, but
I want to say that we were paying him 8,000 or something. 8,000 a month. I can look that up.
I just don't know how much is left for.
Yeah, I can see where that 190 allotment was.
If he's wanting to.
I
use
mean,
it.
currently she's being paid out of the general.
Yeah, that position's being paid out of general.
But that's not to say if you still have money, nobody would choose to pay it.
Well, the money was given to the state's attorney's office to be used at his.
At
their
registration.
Yeah, so he can use it any way they want. It was, the effort was to help with backlog of court cases.
Right.
So I don't have a problem with using it for whatever he feels necessary. It's just the amount was the only thing I'm questioning, how much.
Well, as long as it meets the backlog of court case requirement, because I'm submitting that to the treasury, that's the reason why that money's being used, so. I mean, it has to be.
Has to be from back
Or
on.
back.
Whether it's like to hire attorneys or.
Right, right.
Yeah, I'm just questioning how much was left.
Yeah, I can get you that pretty quick.
So I do know that the Bates is on it, which was that particular person is doing a different job. There's a job posted and we applied for that job. And that was the reason for that increase.
You know, if, discussed here.
Yeah, we gotta be careful about that.
So,
On his salary detail, the assistant attorneys going, looks like 3,000, which is what their agreement was.
it's-
We have one that goes, 8,000. So there may be different job duties for that person.
accept this as it is. It should be on.
Yeah, well, this is one of the things that we're scared about. On this, because once again, we do have a contract over there. And the assistant is going $2 an hour. it looks like. So that contract has not been settled yet. Kim, would you,
So as of 9/19, because you gave each the public defender and the state attorney 90,000 apiece. The balance on the state attorney side appears to be 43,802.50. There. The public defender still shows that they have 75,160, or have 75,168.44. Yeah, for this particular 43, so basically half of it. Approximately half. So
okay, you guys are good with tabling state's attorney, have a chance to talk to them?
I absolutely would like to see him in here. I'd have partial explanations on some of these lines, like what you had with him.
Yeah.
There's some significant increases here, so I've had partial explanations, but I think it'd be important for him to come present it.
I'd like to hear about the requirements for regular incumbents and all those things. We have impediments. And those could actually bring unknown costs. Okay. Let's move on to treasure. That would be no increase at all, we'll be calling back some.
here's my amended.
That wasn't funny, was it? Actually?
I was expecting something, so.
Oh, you know, it's-
I'll try to do it off the top of my head.
You can just use that when we get up.
Okay, so I started looking and realizing that some of my necessary expenses for this fiscal year are not going to happen this fiscal year due to the late due dates of the taxes and them being sent out. Primarily being the delinquent tax bills are not going to be sent out until the end of December. And then also the publication of delinquent notice in the newspaper won't be done until early January. So that means that
You'll have to do that twice.
I'm gonna have to do it twice in fiscal year 24. So I've got it written out to the side, marked out the side. Anticipated dates would be December 23 for the postage and also October, November of 2024 for the delinquent notices. And I mean, I'm just kind of spitballing because I know when postage goes up, certified mail fees go up. So, you know, I'm just trying to keep it up to 15,000 that I've had before. Same way with the tax collector publication. I went back and researched. I think on average I spent about $1,500 a publication. So a little higher, a little lower, but I should have enough to be able to cover.
So the 4,000.
So 4,000, I think would cover the two, you know, and pretty easy amounts. The other request, and the other thing, I know that if you look at the fiscal year or the budget amount, and it looks like it jumped up significantly or exponentially. When Rachel retired, my assistant treasurer retired, that money was put into contingency, about 56,000 and some change. So that was not in my 23 budget. I had them moved over. Then, because I didn't know exactly how I was going to replace that position, I promoted someone within my office, moved them into that position, hired a new employee and everything else. So I think it took I asked for 22,000 and some change to be put back into my budget for this year because I hired that individual in February and they worked through this year. So that's part of that. I'm also asking if allowed to reinstate the employee that I'm currently paying out of my special funds. I provided you all with a spreadsheet showing the increase or decrease of the special funds since we started this in 2020 through 9/30, on the balances. You'll notice, my overall decrease has been 32% of my fund. It's gone from 258,000 down to 174,400. And I have maxed out every kind of fee I can think of. I've got the big three groups paying a large sum for the file, as high as I think I can probably max it. I'm charging portfolio payments and $5 fees to every third party I can think of for duplicate bill fees and everything else to try to get this up as much as I can, but I'm still showing that I got a negative 32% overall decrease from 2020. The other ones I think are all just, basically just minimal. I asked to reinstate the stipends because I'm paying those currently out of my budget as well. Supply, increases are listed there. Bond renewal increases. I'm going to spend $1,900 this year for my bond, the employee bond, and then most everybody in my office is a notary because we have to notarize multiple documents similar to probably what Amanda has in her office between insurance claims, legal forms, and everything else that we get. So I have pretty much everybody in my office is set up to be a notary. So some of those come up for renewal. Those have to be paid as well. But I think that's it. I've also supplied the increases and everything for the employees, which I've got an explanation of why and what I'm requesting on the increases and where the explanation of those come from. I've also factored in Jerry is retiring at the end of February, so I've only accounted for a little over $10,000 for his salary for fiscal year 24. The new employee Shannon, which I've hired, starts next Monday. I will be here for the full year, so that's where I've got a full year's salary for her. But then Jerry's at $10,000. I'm trying to narrow that down as close as I possibly could. We want to have these to be paid out. I think I've already talked to him. He's going to be carrying over, I think, his sick time and putting it in his IMRF bank, and he's going to be taking any vacation, personal days, other time that he has at the end of that February, so it should be all paid out. There shouldn't be any additional monies when he leaves or any additional personal time. Questions?
The salary utilities, these increased requests, that includes the longevity that you put on
Yeah, so basically what I factored in for all those individuals is a quarter per year longevity. That I've asked for $1 overall because of the $2 increases that have occurred with the state minimum wage, and then the 70 cents to mirror what the assessor difference is. And it should be, it's in a lump sum, but I can break those amounts down even further if you like.
Okay, I think, in my opinion, if the raises in 70 cents, we have to start paying into that other account that we've been using. Till we have a chance to talk about
Again, that would be consistent.
that being consistent with what we've done. And once again, actually, that's not a no, that's a.
Oh, I understand.
We need to talk.
Yeah, no,
We need to have that conversation because.
I just wanted to present it to you and let you guys think.
Because you guys your amounts were set with the supervisor assessment's office, I believe, weren't they?
That was the agreement whenever I think Amanda and I, we had all that discussion with the commissioners that since we functioned together, that we were what their
And so,
increases were.
right, even though you don't have a contract, your employees run on their contractual schedule.
That's how or at least the last couple of years, that's what because I think it had been all over the board or different offices at the time, but it makes the most sense because we do interact so much together.
Okay.
And so when you say add to that line, are you meaning just have that be part of that $500,000 line?
No, the line where we're adding employees for each office, whatever office, plus those longevity raises and the dollar an hour ask.
Understood.
Some of them are asking for the 70 cents plus the dollar because of the increase.
Understood. Just want to be sure I have the right line you're talking about.
See the $6,700 for the software.
Because I pay that out of my automation
Okay,
account.
you're paying that, so that's.
So it's on a revenue line item, so I write a check over to you all, and then in turn, whenever the bill comes, it comes out of your commissioner line item,
Right.
and then out of the
I
county.
just
clerk
wanted to make
assessment.
sure that we
Yeah.
don't need.
No, I can write it out of my, that's exactly what the automation fund is designed for. So
Okay.
I write you over a check whenever that bill comes due, and it just.
Has there an increase in your stipends this year over last year?
They're 10,000, I mean,
They were
10,000, they've been 10,000 ever since I got in and
Okay.
I mean before. So, but
Because the
whenever-
stipends were coming in automation
yes,
last year.
I just asked to have it all reinstated, and then you can,
I think that's what we've been doing is,
so, yeah,
is we've not been putting anybody on team automation.
There you go.
Right.
Yeah.
So
but if you don't ask to have.
If you don't ask,
you're out of luck,
it's
so
always
that's
a no.
why I asked.
always
Yeah.
know if you don't
Yeah.
ask,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. You guys got any other questions about it? I mean, personally, I don't see anything that's out of line here.
Oh, the other thing I was gonna tell you, since I'm not having to, pay out the publication of any postage, and it's in my account, I'm not gonna need, I think I talked to you all about possibly paying for the shredding for all of those documents that we destroyed via the archive certificate approval. I mean, I can use my money now to pay that, and then my employee that you granted me, the city would help me if necessary, I can pay her out with that as well, so I'm not gonna need any
But we
money.
need additional money. There was something else you were to what?
I can't remember, but I should have, whatever, I should not be bothering you guys for the rest of
Okay.
We get that ready.
Well, how about for money wise? I won't say I won't bother you, because, you know I'm a pain in the rear end. Yeah, as far as those asks concerned, I'm good, I don't put myself out like that on a silver platter for you. So, yeah.
All right, so we'll move on from treasurer. U of I. How's this request, how's that funded? Is that once again, is it
Levy,
a levy?
you want to know? U of I. 135,706 is where you told it. So.
You're asking for 2,000.
Asking for $2,000 more. And we held it at 135, haven't we?
Yeah.
For how many years have we done
2020, 21, 22, yeah, during the pandemic is when we
that? Held it.
became cautious. So.
Right. You think guys, you continue to hold it 135? This is part of that sharing money.
Right, but the only ones you agreed to share to are highway and general.
Right, so yeah, we already agreed to that.
Yeah.
Unless you guys have got something else you'd like to talk about.
No.
And then the bylaws. Okay.
I did not hear you follow up. Maybe it's up next, 708.
I don't have a seven. Did I miss that?
No, you
The
have.
last
It's
one.
it's in the
Last
last.
one.
Oh, yeah, okay. I mean,
Sorry.
was it U of I and then, Which kind of programs on aging.
That was at 96,308.
Yeah, what was that now?
96,308.
96,308.
And then 82,000 listed. Is that a tax record? You only need 82?
Well, they have never updated their request since I've ever known them. So this is just whatever natural growth has happened like over 20 years. And then it's been frozen, like starting in 2020. But yeah, whoever fills out that document never updated it for the growth that they did get the first year.
So can you get one with 82? Here's that.
82 is what they have.
For seniors?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, it's up to you.
Usually keep it 96,308.
They're in our limit, right? Okay. You said that we pulled the money on everybody except for highway.
Right. The only difference is they technically on their request, they're below
Or 82.
the 96. They'd only asked for 82.
Okay, all right.
That's on the request for this year.
Yeah, that's on the page. It's the,
Right, it's the tax rate.
yeah, 550.
All right, what do you say?
That's 80.
Take it to 82?
82. Yeah, that's what they asked for.
Okay, done and done. Get a phone call.
All right, they covered it. Both.
Still away.
They're at 400,919. I think they requested more than
What did you get from last year?
that. We held them
Yeah.
400,919.
400,
400,919.
400. You guys good with that?
I'm going to say
You would abstain? Chip?
400, 919.
Yeah. All right.
I do have some information, circuit clerk question about the pay and everything. I had an opportunity to talk with Justin. I looked through, so I have their first payroll of 12/9 of 23, excuse me, 12/9 of 22, excuse me. And then through their most recent payroll of 9/29/23. The numbers match exactly. There's no extra money that was put in here. And then when I looked at the contingency, the only contingency line for any salaries for last year were the assessors' back pay increases. And then their potential raise and nothing else. So I don't know where the disconnect is. I looked at the budget last year and the only thing that we increased was at the very end when everybody turned in their time to be paid in the their outstanding benefit time per the contract, so I don't know
Let me take a quick look
where
here.
the 140, because I mean, it's, they're identical. I spot checked them, and I started to go through them. I can give you a spreadsheet, put it all together. I mean, what is listed other than married names, new married names, original names that were, listed on the December payroll, there's no change in that particular line. He's given maybe the $1 an hour, but that's in a separate line item. It doesn't correspond with, I mean, these numbers correspond with his current actual budget numbers that he's showing. And then when I took the 930 numbers for his pay, because he's pretty straightforward, he's only got one payroll line. I did the 831, but I haven't done it on the 30. Can you just? This month. This last month, he only had 31,000. Oh wait, there were 3 pays in this month.
3 pays in September.
September.
Yeah, so that's going to be higher. I think there should only be 2 pays. There's 31,000 in each one of them. As of 8/31, it's 31,000. There's $72,000 left. So assuming that there's only 4 pays left, maybe he's right. Then I mean it'll be under.
Beyond.
So I mean that line should be exact. If there's 1 extra pay, I mean, it'll be really close to right on the line for exactly what was budgeted. So I don't know where
I don't know.
I don't believe there's a $1.40 increase. I think there's only a 70 cent.
It's a 70 cent increase.
Let me check one thing. So I want to be clear what I was thinking had happened. Okay. The line item for salaries between 23 and 24, the line item amount in total, was increasing 38,000, which based on the number of employees, should have only been 19.76. So what I was thinking is not necessarily that they had gotten double raises, but that there was a point in time where you had settled a contractual issue, and then so much of 70 cents was supposed to be moved into that office's line item. And maybe that hadn't happened, which would explain why now you're feeling the effect of adopting both at one time. So.
Well, I guess in 21, that probably was the case.
That could have happened
I moved it
in
to 21. I moved it over
Right.
because there was no other.
Right.
I
That
mean,
would have been the year that it would have happened. It had happened in 21 because that's when the increase.
So let me add the clerk's column.
Fiscal year in 22. So, I mean, but
So last year, we would have had the contractual minimum.
yeah, because of the contract was December of 21.
Yes.
And if I'm not mistaken, was that the one that you guys had verbally agreed to in the amount, but you hadn't officially signed the paperwork? But when we were doing the budget, so I mean, we may have even included it in the budget.
We could have included.
Because I think it was just a matter of all parties had agreed, again, I'm trying to go from memory, but I thought that was maybe the one contract where everybody had agreed in principle, this is the amount. And then, so we'd already either kind of done it, or I went ahead and just moved it because we were already, going to be in there and we just did it right away. So, but that would have been 21, ending in 22. And then this new one for 22, 23 already had that 70 cents built in.
But these requested amounts payroll, these seem to be good. So.
Those, yeah, I mean, those appear to be 70-cent increases from what is currently being paid
Right.
to his employees. Yeah. So. I mean, I can understand where you're coming from, Ken, but maybe it wasn't plugged into that budget number. I'd have to go back and look, because at the time, I can't remember if we had added that variance line of original budget and new budget, so you can actually see the increases or decreases. And also, if you're looking at limiting the budget or trying to put down, my conversation with Justin, I think he has several employees that will be enacting the rights to be paid out for the medication time. So they're probably going to be 15 or 20,000. Discussion.
You mentioned too that, what that account we should use for that.
Well, moving forward, I told him that you guys were going to enact that, and then we would add that at the end. Whenever they ask for it, then he would have to worry about us
That's
moving money over.
next budget cycle.
Yeah, that's, yeah,
To December.
well, I guess we could. Yeah, we can. I
We're
mean,
gonna wait, I mean, do they want it in November? Do they want it-
well, I don't know. I can't remember how does
So
the
if it's
contract.
December, he'll need to use that account.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. He knows that the account's being set up and that it'll be, now the question is the logistics of the time. If we have to pay it out prior to year end or if they can go on.
So what did we do with this yesterday? We put the 491 in there, Kim, is that?
Yeah.
Okay.
And what did we do with the new employees? As I add up the column on this front page, that middle block adds up to 491, 418. That does not include the new employee. The new employee in our whole line.
He said he was paying that out of, and you need to confirm this, but I mean, he said he was gonna pay any extra employee or new employees of his special funds.
Okay.
But I would, please verify that before you take my word. But we had, I mean, we talked about several things, but that was something he had mentioned, he was going to do.
We should be good with that 491 line.
So, yeah, that's something I'm saying. Do we use that 491?
At least move forward.
Excuse me. Pleasure.
Actually, this firm report is that it says, okay, it says at the top, as of September 30th.
Yes. Yeah, so the fund reports that are trust funds that you're probably wanting to look at or focus in on would be the dock storage accounts, the clerk op ad accounts, and then I think it mentions about court assessment.
The numbers on those,
Excuse me?
did you have the numbers on those?
Um,
You just talking about?
Oh, sorry. As of 9:30, the clerk op ad account had $141, $6,
$41,000.
$6. And the court assessment, which is Judge Green's fund, at $391,313. Maybe a lot of cents.
Yeah.
The dock storage fund at $405,440. I think that's the same, yeah, I think I reflected that on the spreadsheet, although I don't have Judge Green's fund, listed on there, because I mean, technically, other than to can prove that he has 11,000 to give to you. And I don't know if you want, I mean, the coroner's cremation account and the morgue, if you're interested in those, and what Junior has. There's 80,702 in the morgue trust account. And 13,630 in the cremation account. Sure. In the morgue trust, 80,702. And then the cremation account, 13,630. Those are the two funds that he uses to supplement his office. The only other two that are on here would be your public defender automation and your state's attorney automation. Your public defender automation.
Oh, yeah, there's not much.
6,531 in public defender, and then you basically have the state's attorney pay down all the way to his 2,464 left in his account. After you had him pay the 10,000 or whatever, you paid a certain amount, he paid the difference. There's 2,464 in there. And those do not get very much added to them on a monthly basis. Just have my papers. If they still want time.
Tim, the assessor dropped off a revision this morning. Did you get that?
I did. You want to take that down to that image?
Yeah.
So my computerized account in the assessor's office, the 18,033, is that a good number?
No, but he just submitted.
He just resubmitted checks. Is he adding this 11,000 to the 18?
No, that's replacement. Yeah, 11,517 is replacement.
That is the new total.
Yeah.
Okay.
When we talked, he said he had double counted.
Yeah. Okay. Very
Pleasure.
What do you want to hit next?
Well, I think for just efficiency in what we're doing, we're not really going to be able to narrow you down to, getting a balanced budget until you really are able to decide the
Salary.
salary issue. I mean, 80% of the general fund is payroll related.
Mhm.
So when it comes to moving forward, you've made it through the budget, the initial, what was filed. So, do you want to see if any of those folks you have left are available to come see you today or tomorrow? And then you have your discussions Tuesday
I think.
and then come back?
I know it's getting to be lunchtime right now. Maybe try to at least reach out and see if we can grab somebody.
Like recess until after lunch, make a couple of phone calls, see if I can get in. So, see if you get state's attorney, sheriff. We have tomorrow as well, right, so that is still on schedule. So do you want to try and see if we can get it tomorrow? Call the day today, or,
I don't know for today or tomorrow.
so,
I would too, we're here. If we can grab somebody for this afternoon, about 3 o'clock, so.
Okay.
So we can grab
So
somebody.
who do we have outstanding?
The only one they'd asked me to schedule and didn't get scheduled was State's Attorney.
Okay.
The other two, they,
so.
Is there anybody else you wanted to talk to?
Probably public defender, we need to get her in. Yeah. You think anybody else would have? I do a break for,
We didn't need to call Justin for anything, did we?
no, I think we answered the question, just, it's pretty straightforward.
There's public defenders on here. Public defender, state's attorney, and sheriff. So, I would say take a break, see if you could, are you going to lunch now?
when you guys do.
Okay, I was gonna say.
I'll try to get hold of the sheriff.
So,
I'll get hold, I'll see if I can get hold of the sheriff and state's attorney, see if I can get this afternoon.
reconvene at 1 o'clock, and we will get somebody in here.
How about- Yeah, about 1:30.
1:30?
Yeah.
Okay, we did. Go from there. We get somebody in, if not, we're gonna pretty much stop.
We'll get it, 10 o'clock. Okay, I'll get hold of the sheriff.
So do I need to get a hold of public defender?
Yeah. You want to try and get her in this afternoon, she can come. Okay. Let's take a break. Recess and reconvene at 1:30.
Second.
Roll call.
Tim Matheson.
Yeah.
Jim Marlowe.
Okay.
Jim Reed.
Yeah. There's still something.